Welcome everyone. In this video, you will learn how to create your website, make the 5 pages that you need, and get the link that you need to enter into the student/candidate information form. So by the end of the video, you'll have one more item that you need to complete that form. So we need to begin by creating an account. So once you do that, you'll be able to come to this page and sign in. Once you sign in, you'll see an option, and here I sign in with my Google here. You don't have to do that. You can use your Facebook as well. However you sign in, you can just go ahead and sign in. And then you need to do one of two things. You can look up in the top left, and you won't have any sites, but you should have this drop down arrow, and you should be able to see a blue button that says create a new site. You would click that, and it would lead you to selecting a template. Or you can go over to the right and find this plus sign. You notice if you hover there, it tells you create a new site. So that's the same thing. If you click them, they'll both do the same thing. They'll bring you here. The next thing you'll need to do is to actually select a design. Only thing you need to remember is that you do not need to purchase anything. And then you just want to select something that speaks to your creative sensibilities. So let's take a look and we can get started here. We select choose template. And now I need to go through and then start looking at what I like in terms of, in the 5 pages. So you do have to think a little bit about what you want to do, but then you can just start to edit. So let's say I wanted to change. I can come over to the left, and let's say I wanted to do creative arts. Now I have a bunch of different ones, slightly different look. So what I'll do is select a template. I can either edit it or view it. If you click on view, it'll take you out to the web so you can see what it looks like. If you like it, then you would just select edit, and notice that price says free. Now you are in the editor and you're ready to start editing. If you look in the top right, you'll see these 3 options: save, preview, publish. Save means you need to save your work. You just click that button, your work will automatically save. A couple of windows will pop up, and you need to do that frequently so that you don't lose any work. Now it'll typically save most of everything, but let's say the power blinks for some reason, and the very last thing that you were working on may or may not get saved. So it's a good idea to always click save. Then there's a preview button. As you make changes and you want to check them out before you finalize it, click preview. It'll take you out to a live view of your website. And then there's a publish button. Once you've made edits and you finalize a few items, every time you've done a final edit, you want to select publish, because if you don't, nobody will be able to see your website. So you need to select publish so that your website can be seen. One more time. When you finish making your edits, you need to select publish so that your site can be seen. All right. One of the first things that you'll do is to scroll down to the bottom of your site. And we want to change this information at the bottom because this becomes your website now. So you're actually the editor and you're the creative behind it. So you can put the year and then just type your name here. Now you gave yourself credit. You could delete this if you want. I usually just leave it because I use the free version of Wix, and so I just leave it there as a promotional thing for them. But you could decide to leave it, and you don't need that period there either. So that will appear on all your pages. It'll just signify that you are the one that's editing and adding content to this. Then if you look over to the right, you can choose to keep any of these social media sites you want. You click on it, you'll have to set it up so that it uses your password and stuff like that, so that people click on it, they can go to and see whatever it is you want them to see. So you can use Twitter there, Facebook, Instagram, and Vimeo, so all the ones that most people use. All right, now we need to start to change our menu. Our menu or navigation is at the top here. So we have 5 items that we need to make, and there's only 4 here. So technically we only need to make 1 more. So if we go to the top left where you see pages, this is our menu for the pages. So now I'll just start making some changes. So I'm gonna click in here, and I'm just gonna make these lowercase. So that's 1 page that we need. And if you watch the first video, you know that we need 5 pages. I showed you that. There's calendar. Then we've got student pages or student resources. Then we have parent resources. Select done. And now let's click on this contact page I want to show you before we make the last page. If you want to create a contact page, you don't have to have this, but you could put this on your page, and when you set this up, what happens is the person that sends you a message, they can do it directly from this page, and it goes to whatever email address you set it up with. So if you wanted to keep something like that, you could, but you notice it, and that's under parents, and it doesn't matter if you decide to keep it. You just need to put a little message on it and then modify it, make it your own, do all that good stuff. And I just want to point out down here, notice that we're on a different page, and that went across all pages. So as you're editing, what you'll notice is that you'll have the option to show different things on all pages. So if there's one thing that you want to appear on every page, you just click it. If you don't want it to show on every page, you don't click it. Alright, so we need one more page. So what I'll just do is just go here on the parent page, and to the right, when you highlight it, you'll see this circle. You get the drop down menu. Let's just duplicate it, and then we'll double click inside, and then this one will be professional development. Then you select done. Alright, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it put this more here because the words are kind of long, so you could abbreviate professional development as PD if you wanted. So that's one way to do it. You could combine these and say resources and then have sub pages, one be student and one be parent. That would be up to you though. So I just wanted to show you. Now you have 5 made. You definitely want to go over here to publish. When you select publish, it will ask you to name your site. Here it uses my email, the beginning of it anyway, for the username, so this will be different for you, but it'll look like this, and then it'll say .wixsite.com. That part will be exactly the same, and then whatever you put here is up to you. So you can be a little creative with it, like Jones Elementary class. Now you might want to make something a little shorter and easier so that parents can get it pretty easily, or if you wanted to tell somebody what it is, they can pick it up pretty easy. But whatever you want that to be, now you just say save and continue. And you'll notice that it gives you this. It says publish your site so people can see it. Remember, you got to publish. And once we just click publish, so you don't need to do that again, but I'll just show you when you publish it, that's what it does. And now what you can do is click on view site. And when you go out to view site, you see your pages, and notice how that pops up too. And the address, you can get the address in one of 2 ways. If you go up into the address bar and just highlight it, and that's where the URL is, you can copy and paste, or we could go back in here, and then you could just inside there just do Control A or highlight it all. Let's see if we can get that to work. Well, it's not letting me click in there to copy it, but oh, there we go. Finally worked. So once you do that, you can do Command C on the Mac or Control C on the PC, and you can copy it. And that is the link that you want to enter on the student information page. So it's this link after you publish, and make sure you publish so that I can access your website. So now once your website is published, that's part of it. Then you need to start adding some content. And when you want to operate on a particular page, you go up here, you choose home, or let's say, because I chose home because that's the page that you'll start with. And then you need to delete all the elements that you will not use. So if it's something that you don't need, definitely stuff like this is not something that you would use. So I'm holding down the shift key right now so that I can highlight multiple items. Then I click delete, and they start to disappear, and you do the same thing up here. Anything that you want to keep, you can. You can just click inside. This is just text, so this is actually a button. So once you double click it, it'll give you that information. You can change it. But yeah, definitely clean up everything. And remember, on the home page, the things that you want here are an image, an audio player, your quote, and make sure you follow that list in the assignment details. But those are some of the immediate things. Now, when you want to add your embedded audio, one thing you have to do, like I said, is to download Audacity or use Audacity in the computer lab. You need to record and the video shows you how to do all of that. But once you make your recording and you export it as an MP3, and it's important that you export your MP3 because when you want to add your audio player, you just click add. You'll go down to music, and now you just select the player. There's different types of players, just depends on what you want, what theme you want for your page, and it doesn't matter which one you select. So let's say you decide to go with this one. Once you click on that player, what it'll ask you to do now is to attach an MP3 file to it. I already have one here, so I would click on this one. But what you need to do is to go to upload tracks. You click upload, and at this point it's just like you would do it in an email attachment. You just locate the file, click on it, it'll upload it into here and save it. Then you'll click it, and when that little check mark is there, you'll be able to click add to page. And now if I were to preview, I would click play, and that's it. So that's how you add a player. And the other thing you want to do is just you want to mess around with where's the best place for this to be. So then you can click and drag it to different places. And then you need to get your picture in, you need to get your text in, that paragraph about you, and then just start to play around with it. Now for the calendar page, again, when you want to edit a page, you just want to make sure you're on that page, and we know we're on this page because it's selected. And what we'll do here, this will be pretty easy. Again, delete everything on here that you don't need, which is most of that, and then we'll just embed the calendar momentarily. So what you need to do is to get an embed code, and this is where you need your Gmail account. So what I'll do is go to my Gmail, and you can do it from Gmail or you can do it from this icon right here. If I click on apps, I can go to calendar, and that's one way to get to it. And I'll go back and just show you how to get to it when you're inside your Gmail. So from here, if you log into your Gmail account and you're inside your Gmail, you can also access those apps. It'll be the same icon. You just click there and calendar. When you're looking in here, then you won't see anything here because you don't have any calendars yet. So what you'll just need to do is to click create calendar, and you put a title for it, and you can choose event colors, you can do lots of different stuff. Just give it a description. For this, I suggest you just kind of look through it and make sure of what you want to do, because it's pretty easy, so I won't go through that. And once it's made, let's say this is an old one I had. One thing that we'll do is we'll click this drop down and make sure that you're displaying only that calendar, and that means that only that one's highlighted. So now I go back to that same little drop down menu. This time I want to go to calendar settings. Two items I want to do here. The first one, I want to go up here where it says share calendar. I want to make sure that I select share calendar. Once I select it, it puts a check mark here, and then it says that it's going to make that calendar public, which is what I want, because if I don't make it public, nobody will be able to see it. So your parents would go to your website, they wouldn't be able to see your calendar. Then let's go back to calendar details. Then we want to go down to where it says embed this calendar. We scroll over to the right, and this is your first encounter with using HTML, assuming that you haven't taken any programming classes in high school or early college. I'll do Command A because I'm on a Mac. You can do Control A to highlight it. Then we do Command C or Control C. Now I go back to the website. I'm on the calendar page where I want to embed it. Go back to my Add button. At the bottom, there's More. And then if I go from there, I want to select HTML code. Then you just select it. And now this gray box appears. So I select it. This little message appears, enter code. Select. Add your code here. Now I can do Command V or Control V. That'll paste it. Select update. And now my calendar is embedded. And all I have to do is just drag it. until it's seen, and you don't have to stay inside this white box. So this is just showing you how to do it. And just make sure the whole calendar can be seen. And now you have a calendar. Now all you have to do is from within your account, you notice that I have entries. You just need to start making entries. And you can do that pretty easily. You can go to any county website and grab some basic events and type them in. It doesn't really matter what you type in there as long as you type in some events, some school events, and I know that you know how to do that. And now you have a calendar embedded. And of course, don't forget that you need to delete the stuff you don't need. So delete everything out. Also, make sure on a page like this that you type a sentence or two at the top, letting the viewer know what it is this calendar is all about. You type that in. So one more thing that we'll do is we'll go to Diigo. So right now, you know how to create your website and get it started. You know how to put in the 5 pages. You know how to get the link to that website. And that link you need for the student information form. Now you know how to enter your calendar as well. You know how to embed your calendar. And the next thing you need to be able to do is your Diigo. So let's figure out how to do that. So of course we go to Diigo and you just type that name in as Diigo, and let me sign out. So when you first get there, it might be this, or it could be this. So this is where you go. This is the very beginning, and this tells you everything that you can do. Now this has a lot more features than we'll cover in class, so if you want to explore it, feel free to do that. You would click sign up so that you can create your account, and when you're ready, you'd be able to sign in. And again, you have options here of how you sign into it, so you can still use your email, your username and password, or again, I like to use my Google account. So whatever it is that you put in for once you create your account, whatever your username is, that's what you'll use to put into the student information form. And that is about it. So once you know what your username is, you'll be able to share it with me and you're done. So I just gave you everything you need to get started. If you wanted to get that done, you are well on your way. If you have any questions at all, please let me know.